What if we told you that your personality was predictable? That behavior and birth order strongly influence your future occupation? Well, it can be true. Your birth order affects your personality and how you interact socially, which can then affect the type of jobs you'll have or prefer to have. Scary to think, right? Imagine if you were born as the youngest or even the oldest child of your family. Think of how different you'd be. You may be an artist instead of a top student, or a doctor instead of a world traveler. The fact is that birth order plays a large role in your personality traits, which in turn affects your behavioral and social interactions. These behavioral and social interactions may affect how you view yourself and others. Many factors affect how successful someone is and how driven they are, especially in the workplace, and birth order has been found to be a major factor. Most of it boils down to personality traits assumed by individuals based on their interactions with their siblings in the formative years. Although there's not always a one-to-one correlation between birth order and occupational tendencies, a 2003 Stanford study produced consistent, replicable data that suggests people's belief in personality differences within birth order can and does produce differing opinions regarding occupational expectations of themselves and of others. A study done by Vistage International reported that nearly half of the 1,500 CEOs that participated in the study were firstborn children. Of the 29 astronauts who have been to space, 27 of them are either firstborn or only children. Firstborn children are often found to be more driven, goal-oriented, black and white thinking, well-organized, and serious. Firstborns have been leading and teaching their own siblings from young ages, so therefore leadership comes naturally to them and is ingrained in their personality. For these reasons, firstborns are likely to be found in management positions, working in government, and in sciences and engineering. Middle children tend to be more people-pleasing and diplomatic than firstborns. They're considered the mediators and peacemakers, loyal and very social. They have also been shown to be more sensitive and caring to others' feelings and well-being. For this reason, middle children are often found in public service and in caretaking roles. Youngest children, on the other hand, tend to be the most creative of the family. They're also emotional, extroverted, and talkative. Lastborn children also are usually less responsible than their older siblings. Based on these personality traits, youngest children tend to associate with the more creative occupations, including photography, acting, and music. Lastborn children are also often involved in sales and roles that include persuasion. While birth order can significantly influence personality, it does not necessarily determine someone's personality or future. Ethnicity, social status, gender, parents' treatment of their children, number of siblings, life events, and many other factors influence how a person interacts with others, including in the workplace. Parental influence and the gender of the child largely factor into a child's personality as well. For example, if a child is born second to a male, not only could she have second child characteristics, but also first child characteristics, because she's the first female of the family. In the same way, if a family has many children, the kids tend to group up to assume their individual traits. Let's say a family has 6 kids. Children 1 and 2 will usually take on the firstborn traits, 3 and 4 will have the middleborn traits, and 5 and 6 will adopt the lastborn traits. Of course, it doesn't always shake out this way. There are many different factors and therefore many different outcomes possible. Sometimes, younger-born children may become more intelligent than their older siblings because they've learned from them and even received help from them. However, on the other hand, as we mentioned earlier, firstborns do get the benefit of teaching their younger siblings, and as has been proven, teaching is one of the best ways to learn. Research, in fact, is in favor of the latter. A study by the Norwegian University of Oslo discovered that firstborns score an average of 3 points higher on an IQ test than their younger siblings. As a final note, learning about and understanding personality as it relates to birth order may cause people to interact differently with others based solely on when they were born. We present this research not so that we may hold ourselves and others to certain biases or standards based on their birth order, but rather our hope is that by understanding these patterns, we can better understand the people around us and learn about ways to interact better and share love with one another.